Okay, sir. May we meet you, sir?
My name is Dr. Sani Ali. I am the Commandant General of Neighborhood Enlightenment and Safety Organization, NESO, a counter-terrorism and counter-insurgency volunteer organization registered in Nigeria, one of its kind in the whole of Africa, as stipulated by the United States Pentagon.
Okay, sir. How far has the NESO gone to combat crime in Nigeria?
Well, since the advent of terrorism, NESO was put together as a group of other organizations and came together in order to help in the fight or in the war against terrorism in the country, as a way of giving back to Nigeria what is given to us. And so we have been on ground since the advent of terrorism in Nigeria, and we are the initiators of civilian JTF in the country. Civilian JTF membership, about 90% of NESO officers represent the membership of civilian JTF. And NESO has over 70,000 volunteer members across the 36 states of Nigeria, with command offices in those states, including the FCT Abuja.
So NESO has been on all this while, and I want to know whether NESO is an NGO or a gazetted organization by the Nigerian government.
That's why I said earlier, if you listen to me carefully, that NESO is a registered voluntary or volunteer organization. It's an NGO. It is not a government agency, but we are hoping that President Ahmed Bola Tinubu, in his own wisdom, will find it necessary to establish counter-terrorism agency. This is to have a coordinated agency specialized in dealing with the act of terrorism, banditry, and other heinous critical crime in Nigeria, which we really do not have. Because the Nigerian Army's purview is to protect the territorial integrity of Nigeria, while the police is to maintain the internal law and order of the country. In the whole of the agency, going by custom that is specialized for duties, immigration, for immigration issues, we do not have, as a country, a counter-terrorism agency. And seeing how devastated Nigeria has been over years with the act of terrorism, Nigeria at one time was rated the third most terrorized country in the world, even though over time we have now become the sixth most terrorized country in the world. The need for the government to create and establish NESO as a counter-terrorism agency cannot be overemphasized. It is up, it is now, it is right.
Okay, in your interview at the Liberty TV some time ago, we overheard you saying that NESO is the first prime counter-insurgency organization in Nigeria. So how?
Well, NESO is the only registered counter-terrorism and counter-insurgency organization in Nigeria. It's a pioneer, and it still remains the first, not only in Nigeria, but in the whole of Africa, as stipulated, like I said earlier, by the United States Pentagon, that they came visiting us. And in fact, the European Union came visiting us to understudy how NESO has registered a lot of successes. Having seen that NESO is not a government agency, but just a voluntary organization that have put so much for the safety and security of Nigerian people. And again, it was widely on the news a few years ago. A celebrated one, Haja Zara Mohammed, an officer of NESO, was in an operation with the Nigerian military, Yobe Axis, in Ishek. And in that operation, she was able to eliminate or eliminate about 75 Boko Haram members, which the then chief of army staff Lieutenant General Rutai celebrated her, and she was equally given an award by National Security Institution in Nigeria at the War College. So NESO has been putting a lot, we have contributed a lot towards the war against terrorism in Nigeria and other heinous crimes.
Okay, sir.